Imagine being able to identify today the next cryptocurrencies that are going to explode in 2025. Sounds too good to be true. A lot of people look back and think, if only I had invested in that project before the big spike, my life would be different now. Maybe you felt that frustration yourself, seeing ordinary people become millionaires overnight while you were left out, or came in too late and watched the price crash. It hurts to be left out, I know. The pain of missing real opportunities to change your life, due to lack of information or late decisions, is something that haunts every investor. But take a deep breath, because 2025 is right around the corner, and it could be your chance to flip the game. The crypto market runs in cycles, and the next bull run is already forming on the horizon. Each cycle brings new opportunities, innovative projects that go from cents to tens or even hundreds of dollars, turning early believers into accomplished investors. And now is the time to get ready so you don't repeat the mistakes of the past. You want to be one of the people who takes advantage of the next surge, not one of the ones left regretting it afterward. So stay with me, because in this video, we're going to reveal the top 5 emerging cryptocurrencies with explosive potential for 2025. These aren't the usual suspects everyone already knows. These are promising projects, some still under the radar, but with solid fundamentals and growing signals that could place them among the market elites next year. This isn't about fluff or empty hype. We are going straight to the point with strategic and investigative insights on each project. Market context. What makes each coin unique, real examples of what they're building, and why big players are already paying attention. All in a motivational tone, because knowledge is power, and my goal is for you to leave this video ready to act like a visionary investor. And there's more. Beyond the 5 tokens, stick around until the end, because I'll also give you extra valuable tips. We'll talk about what to avoid in the next bull cycle, so you don't fall into traps. And I'll share a checklist for the visionary investor, so you head into 2025 with clarity and confidence. Warning: what you're about to learn here could be a game changer for your investments. So, if possible, grab a pen and paper or open a note on your phone to jot down important insights. Every minute counts, and your future self might thank you for paying attention right now. No more delay. Let ES dive into our exclusive list of the 5 emerging cryptocurrencies that are poised to explode in 2025. And the first one on the list already comes in strong. 1. Arbitrum ARB. When it comes to Ethereum scalability, Arbitrum steals the spotlight. You know those high gas fees and slow speeds that drive users away from Ethereum? Arbitrum came to fix exactly that. It's what we call a Layer 2 solution. In other words, a network built on top of Ethereum that makes everything faster and cheaper, without sacrificing the security of the main chain. Imagine doing a transaction on Ethereum that would normally cost $50 in gas and paying only a few cents. Sounds like a dream, but that's the reality Arbitrum provides. It's a game changer. During the last market boom, many investors and crypto gamers complained, "Fees are insane, it's impossible to do anything." With Arbitrum, that barrier is gone. Since its launch, it has seen explosive adoption. Recently, the Arbitrum network surpassed 1 billion processed transactions. Yes, billions of operations, without clogging up Ethereum, clear proof of massive demand for solutions like this. And it's not just theory. Real projects are leveraging this infrastructure. The biggest decentralized applications, dApps like Uniswap, Aave, and Curve, are operating or integrating with Arbitrum. And don't forget the native Arbitrum projects like GMX, a decentralized exchange that has become a leader in perpetuals. The Arbitrum ecosystem is booming. Billions of dollars are already locked into protocols on the network. It's like a brand new, vibrant city within the crypto universe, attracting entrepreneurs, developers, and users at scale. Here's a key point. The RB token, Arbitrum S cryptocurrency, was distributed via a massive airdrop in 2023. Many people received tokens for free just for having used the network early, which only amplified the buzz. Today, ARB works as a governance token. Holders vote on protocol decisions. But here's the smart investor's insight. With adoption growing, there's speculation that Arbitrum may introduce value-capturing mechanisms for RB in the future, like sharing network fees with token holders. There are no guarantees, but even the rumor of this is enough to draw attention, because as network usage grows, so could token value. Why could Arbitrum explode in 2025? Because if we're entering a new bull cycle, Ethereum is likely to attract a flood of new users and capital, and all of them will want to transact quickly and cheaply. Last time, Ethereum's lack of scalability was a huge bottleneck. Next time, Arbitrum is perfectly positioned to handle that surge. Think of it as a newly built superhighway right before the vacation season. When the crowd hits the road, the one controlling the highway profits. Backing this up, Arbitrum is developed by Off-Chain Labs, a team of top-tier engineers and researchers from Princeton and beyond. This is not a garage project. It's serious tech with serious institutional backing. That adds credibility, the kind that matters when big money enters the space. In short, Arbitrum solves a real urgent problem, has concrete and accelerating adoption, and is built on solid technical foundations. If 2025 brings another crypto boom, Arbitrum might not just ride the wave, it might power it. And projects that become critical infrastructure tend to see their value skyrocket. Keep your eyes on ARB. It might just surprise everyone still sleeping on it. And we're only just getting started. 2. SUI SUI. While Arbitrum tackles Ethereum's scalability from the outside, SUI takes a different approach. It has a brand new blockchain built from the ground up to support mass adoption. While many projects launch with vague promises, SUI has a clear mission: to be as fast and user-friendly as mainstream web platforms, and that's no accident. The team behind SUI comes from tech giants. Its founders worked on Facebook's Diem project, the crypto that never fully launched, meaning they deeply understand what it takes to scale blockchain to billions of users. SUI is a layer 1 blockchain. It's not built on top of another network, it is the main chain. It uses a unique architecture focused on parallelism and objects. It might sound technical, but here's what it means in practice. Lightning-fast transactions, the ability to process hundreds of thousands of operations per second, and fees so low they're practically invisible. In tests, SUI has already shown performance that puts legacy blockchains to shame. Imagine a transaction being confirmed in under half a second. That is the level we're talking about. But speed alone isn't enough, and you need purpose. What makes SUI stand out is its focus on user experience. It's designed to attract people who've never touched crypto before. Instead of complicated interfaces and confusing wallets, SUI wants to let people interact with apps as if they were using Netflix or Uber, seamlessly. Think games, social networks, or financial apps where the blockchain works in the background. That's the kind of innovation that could finally bring the general public into the crypto world. And it is not just talk. SUI launched with heavy support from investors. It raised hundreds of millions of dollars before its mainnet even went live, with backing from VC giants like Andreessen Horowitz and Coinbase Ventures. That money doesn't just signal confidence. It ensures the team has the resources to keep building and attract top developers to the SUI ecosystem. Let's look at the numbers. Despite being new, launched in 2023, SUI is already seeing notable adoption. Get this. By April 2025, the SUI network had surpassed 150 million wallet addresses. That suggests massive user growth. Also, the total value locked TVL in DeFi apps on SUI has exceeded $1.5 billion. For such a young network, this is a very strong signal of traction and demand. Surprisingly, despite this growth, the SUI token is still relatively undervalued compared to its early peak and the size of its ecosystem. This has caught the attention of experienced investors. Many are thinking, something big is happening here, and the market hasn't priced it in yet. In other words, SUI might still be a hidden gem. Why could 2025 be SUI's breakout year? Because if this next bull run brings in millions of new users, projects that offer scalability and ease of use will be in high demand. Remember all those talks about bringing 1 billion people to blockchain? If that vision is to come true, companies, games, and platforms will need a blockchain that doesn't choke under pressure. SUI is positioning itself as that solution. Whoever arrives first to that party can dominate a huge slice of the market. To sum it up, SUI combines cutting-edge tech, a user-first vision, heavyweight backing, and real signs of growth. If it delivers on its promise, there's no doubt it could explode in relevance and price in the next cycle. Keep a close eye on SUI. It might just be one of the biggest breakout stories of 2025. 3. Render, RNDR. Now let us dive into a project that bridges two massive trends, graphics and artificial intelligence. Render is one of those ideas that make you go, how did no one think of this sooner? In one sentence, it's a decentralized GPU rendering network. In simple terms, there are thousands of powerful graphics cards, GPUs, sitting idle around the world, and there are thousands of creators, digital artists, film studios, game developers, and now AI researchers who need GPU power to render visuals, process videos, or train models. Render connects these two sides. Those who need computing power pay in RNDR tokens, and those who offer GPU power earn RNDR in return. Simple and brilliant. Think about an indie animation studio needing to render a complex 3D scene. In the past, they'd either have to build their own costly render farm or pay expensive centralized services. With Render, they can send the job to the network and get the results back quickly and affordably. The same applies to AI training. Training models requires massive GPU usage, so why not tap into a decentralized network? And this isn't some futuristic idea. It's happening now. Render Network already has thousands of active nodes, over 5,000 machines contributing roughly 50,000 GPUs worldwide. That's serious computing firepower, and it's growing fast. What really puts Render on the radar for 2025 is its timing and partnerships. For example, Otoy, the company behind Render, recently announced a partnership to bring immersive Star Trek experiences to Apple S Vision Pro device. That's right, Apple's new mixed reality headset is getting next-level AR content, and Render is part of the production infrastructure. When you see Apple and Paramount collaborating with a blockchain project, that's not just a sign of hype, that's a validation of real-world use. Another powerful name linked to Render is Beeple, the artist who sold an NFT for $69 million. He's on the Render advisory board. That tells you how tuned in the digital art and creator community is to this platform. Render solves a major problem: scalable and affordable GPU compute with ownership and security ensured by blockchain tech. Now zoom out and look at the bigger picture for 2025, the rise of the metaverse, VR, AR, insane visual experiences, and AI everywhere. What's the one thing all these innovations need? Massive graphical computing power. And guess what's already in short supply? GPUs. Render steps in as a more sustainable solution. Rather than buying more hardware, it lets people better utilize the resources we already have. It's not just cost-effective, it's eco-friendly too. On the market side, RNDR already saw a major price boost in 2023 when AI and metaverse narratives exploded. But many see that as just the beginning. If adoption soars in 2025, let us say big studios or major gaming companies start using it regularly, then RNDR demand could skyrocket. Imagine thousands of companies and creators competing for RNDR tokens to tap into a global decentralized supercomputer. Classic supply and demand economics would do the rest. Bottom line, Render is innovative, already live, and backed by major names. If you believe the future is more immersive, digital, and AI-powered, then RNDR could be the infrastructure powering it all behind the scenes. And smart investors love to get in before the crowd does. 4. Stacks, STX. Have you ever imagined combining Bitcoin security with smart contracts, DeFi, and NFTs? That's exactly what Stacks is doing. It is a layer built to bring functionality to Bitcoin, like what Ethereum offers, but anchored in Bitcoin's network. Think of it as giving Bitcoin superpowers without touching the core protocol. For years, people said Bitcoin and DeFi were two separate worlds. Bitcoin was for storing value, and Ethereum was for building applications. Stacks breaks that wall. Using a mechanism called proof of transfer, Stacks anchors its blocks to the Bitcoin blockchain, inheriting its security. That means developers can now build apps, NFTs, and even entire DeFi protocols on Stacks, while settling everything on Bitcoin. That's massive. Here is a real-world example. SBTC, a synthetic version of Bitcoin designed to be used within Stacks' ecosystem. It allows you to deploy your BTC in smart contracts without giving up custody or using centralized wrappers like WBTC. And guess who's backing it? BitGo, one of the biggest crypto custodians in the world, has announced it will support SBTC. That's huge. It opens the doors for institutions to enter the Stacks ecosystem safely, and the results are already showing. In Q1 2025 alone, the amount of stablecoins circulating in Stacks DeFi apps quadrupled, a 400% surge in just a few months. Liquidity is flowing, users are growing, and the STX token, which powers transactions, governance, and staking, is seeing serious demand. In April, STX rose over 56% in a single week, one of the best performing assets of the month, right after BitGo's announcement. Remember the NFT hype on Bitcoin in 2023, the whole ordinals craze? That wave shined a spotlight on Stacks, as it offered a more structured way to create NFTs and dApps connected to Bitcoin. With trends aligning and adoption picking up, Stacks is gaining real momentum. Of course, challenges remain. Some Bitcoin purists still reject anything outside the base layer, but the tide is turning. As Bitcoin gains mainstream appeal in the next bull cycle, many will ask, I have Bitcoin, now what? And the answer might be put it to work through Stacks. To sum it up, Stacks takes Bitcoin's best traits. 5. Injective INJ. Last but not least, we have Injective, a platform that many are calling the decentralized Binance. Bold claim? Maybe. But Injective has the infrastructure and momentum to back it up. Injective is a DeFi powerhouse built specifically for trading. Unlike most protocols, it supports everything: spot trading, perpetuals, forex, commodities, even synthetic assets. And it does this fully on-chain, with blazing speed and virtually no fees. Traders can open leveraged positions at 3 a.m. without an exchange, without KYC, and without worrying if their funds are safe. It's fast, permissionless, and secure, and built on Cosmos SDK for cross-chain compatibility. This means Injective isn't just another Ethereum dApp. It integrates with multiple chains and lets you trade assets from across the crypto world. Its order book model gives professional traders the experience they're used to, like a centralized exchange, but with full decentralization. And it's not all talk. Injective has working products. There are multiple dApps already trading perpetual futures, stablecoin pairs, and even experimental synthetic assets. And thanks to technical optimizations, fees are negligible, often under a cent. Now let's talk about clout. Injective was incubated by Binance Labs, has backing from Pantera Capital, and even caught the eye of Mark Cuban, who publicly invested in the project. That's a serious endorsement from heavyweight players. In the 2024 alt season, INJ soared from under $2 to over $50. It's since retraced, creating what many see as a buy-the-dip opportunity. The ecosystem is quietly expanding, with a dev fund to attract new dApps and updates planned to add more trading products. If crypto trading explodes in 2025, as it often does in bull cycles, Injective could be one of the main venues absorbing that demand. Bottom line, INJ has the tech, traction, and institutional muscle. If decentralized trading goes mainstream in the next cycle, Injective could be the invisible engine powering it all. Now, one extra crucial point. Just as important as knowing where to invest is knowing what to avoid in the next bull cycle. Because believe me, during the euphoria of a bull market, many people make fatal mistakes that cost them big time. First mistake to avoid: jumping into projects just because they re-trending without understanding what SS behind them. In every bull run, dozens of miracle coins pop up overnight. Not all of them are legit. Don't be the person who buys just because everyone else talking about it, without doing your homework. Remember the meme coin mania in the last cycle. Tons of people bought the top of projects with zero fundamentals and watched their money evaporate. So keep your filter sharp. Always ask, does this project offer real value or am I acting on emotion? Second, not having an exit strategy. That's right. You need to know when to take profits. One of the most painful mistakes is watching your investments multiply and then watching it all disappear because you were too greedy or distracted to sell. There's nothing wrong with cashing out when something goes up a lot. Create a plan. Maybe sell portions at target prices, or at least take out your original investment once it doubles. That way, you lock in gains and still stay in the game for future upside with less stress. Third, neglecting risk management and security. In bull markets, confidence skyrockets and people get reckless. They over-leverage or invest money they can't afford to lose, thinking they're on a winning streak. Warning, there's no such thing as risk-free investing. Only use capital you're prepared to risk, and if you're trading with leverage, be aware it can wipe you out in seconds. And most importantly, secure your assets. Bull markets attract hackers, scams, phishing attacks. Don't leave large sums on shady exchanges. Use two-factor authentication. Consider a hardware wallet for serious holdings. The last thing you want is to be right about a project and still lose it all due to security negligence. To recap, don't follow the hype blindly. Have a plan to lock in profits and protect your assets. These steps alone could dramatically improve your chances of thriving in the next bull run. Now that we've covered the red flags, let us pull together everything we've learned into a quick visionary investor checklist you can save and apply moving forward. Long-term vision. Don't obsess over daily price moves. Think in years, not weeks. The biggest rewards go to those who hold strong projects through the ups and downs and don a T panic sell. Fundamentals first. Before buying any token, understand it. Look at the tech, the team, the use case, and whether it has real adoption. Ask yourself, is this solving a real-world problem? Does it have mainstream potential? Visionary investors focus on value, not noise. Continuous learning. The crypto space moves fast. Visionaries are always leveling up, through courses like the one I mentioned, reading, watching, engaging with communities. Updated knowledge is your secret weapon in such a dynamic industry. Strategy and discipline. Have a clear plan for every position. How much to invest, when to exit, how to handle losses. Stick to your rules. Diversify smartly. Don't go all in on one coin, but don't scatter so wide you lose focus. Networking and humility. No one wins alone. Join groups, connect with other investors, learn from those who've been through multiple cycles, and stay humble. Be open to changing your approach, asking for advice, or admitting when you're wrong. Investing is a marathon of constant growth. Keep these points close. With vision, fundamentals, ongoing learning, discipline, and community, you'll be ahead of 90% of newcomers. That edge could be what takes you to the next level financially in the coming years. Now that we've reached the end of this journey, let's quickly recap. You discovered 5 emerging cryptocurrencies that could explode in 2025, understood why each of them has unique potential, learned what to avoid in the heat of the next bull run, and walked away with a visionary investor checklist to guide your next moves. But remember, information alone doesn't change lives. Action does. So the real question is, what will you do with everything you've just learned? Will you just sit on it? Or will you start preparing to ride this wave that's forming? The next 12 to 18 months could define who thrives in crypto and who gets left behind. I genuinely want you to be part of the winning side. So if this video helped you, you know what to do. Smash that like button so I know it brought you value. And don't leave without subscribing to the channel. That way you won't miss the next deep dives and strategic content coming your way. Turn on notifications too. There's a lot of gold coming, and I want you in the loop. Also, tell me in the comments, which of these cryptocurrencies caught your attention the most? Or is there another hidden gem you believe will shine in 2025? Let's exchange ideas. I love hearing your takes and learning together. And don't forget to check out the links in the description. I've added the course I mentioned earlier that could seriously level up your crypto investing skills, along with other helpful resources. That's it, visionary friends. Thanks for sticking around until the very end. That alone proves you're serious about your future. Stay hungry for knowledge, stay sharp with your strategy, and I'll see you at the top. Let's go after 2025 with everything we've got. Until next time, and happy investing.